Welcome to Nintendo Dads, episode 578, recorded on May 7th, 2026. On this week's episode, we shadow drop Justin at Nintendo, but his family and Nintendo aren't too happy with us. So we decided to shadow drop a new tune for you. Jesse, you know what to do.
Grab your coffee, grab your kids. We're talking pixels, talking bibs, oh yeah. From old school cards to videos new with a Nintendo Dad's game right beside you. We got reviews, unboxing, stories from the couch, laughs, dad tips, and a friendly little shout. So pull up a chair, it's that time of the week. Nintendo Dad's podcast, let the dads all speak.
That's a good one. That's a good one. A little southern, outlaw country vibe.
Little twang
like
in
it.
there.
A little twang in there. Appreciate the culture. We're hitting it all. Hey guys, welcome to episode 578 of Nintendo Dads. It is May the 7th, 2026. And joining me on the show tonight, Tim and Jesse. How you guys doing?
Awesome. I'm actually more awake than I was starting just about an hour before. Has to do with
the same thing.
The spiked water I just gave myself.
Okay.
Yeah, those water?
Yeah, the water enhancers you can give yourself that gives you a little energy, and vitamin B. I had to drink some of that before we started the show, so I'm feeling a lot better.
I think I'm the opposite. I had a pretty good week, and then like 6 o'clock today, I just felt like I was ready to crash. In fact, I took about a half hour, 45-minute nap in my living room recliner, and I woke up. I'm like, oh, crap! I have to get ready for a show, and I just feel worn out right now.
I arrived here directly from a middle school production of Snow White. Yeah,
you're worn out already.
So that
I needed a Mountain Dew, and tomorrow. We're headed, my wife and I and another couple we're friends with. We celebrate the beginning of summer, the end of the school year every year with a trip to the meats. And no, It's not Arby's. We go to Texas de Brazil.
We have the meats
on Friday. Oh, we're going to have the meats tomorrow. We're probably going to have the meat sweats. It's probably
the meat sweats
for
sure.
What we're going to have. On Fridays, it's half price for lunch. And so we're cheap, but we like the meats. So, yep, the card never turns over. Like it's just green the entire time I'm there.
You keep it coming.
Well, we noticed we went there last year, and all four of us noticed that there was a point where like the time that the gauchos stopped, they stopped coming to our table. And I'm like, hey, yeah.
You gotta flag them down at a certain point.
Steak, you bring it right here.
I just tell them you guys.
No, but I do usually.
You go there every year, right?
Yeah, but I tell them like, you don't even have to ask. Do you want this? No, that's not a question. It's like, you see the card? See it? It's right here. Yep. Put it on the plate.
There you go.
Unless it's shrimp or seafood. I don't eat seafood. So
for those who've never been to Brazilian type barbecue, the card he's referring to is one side says, yes, I want more food. The other side says, I'm done. Leave me alone.
Yeah. And it's red and green, like a stoplight. And so the idea of this is that it's like roasted meats on giant skewers, and they come by your table and they carve it off onto your plate.
Yeah, it's an interesting experience, but yes, it is expensive and not something you want to do every week.
Yep, that's why we go on Half Price Friday. There you go. It's like, well, and next week's my wife and I's birthday, and so that's kind of also how we celebrate.
Another reason that
3 people in the 4-person group have birthdays in May, so there you go. But hey, enough about us. We've actually got some really cool news to talk about tonight. Including the freshly shadow dropped Star Fox game that we're going to spend some time on. But before we do that, Jesse, you know what you got to do. Hit that button. Let's go to the news. And tonight's show is brought to us by our sponsor, Manscaped, but also you guys over at patreon.com/Nintendo Dads. We don't call you patrons, we call you friends of the show because that's what you are, because you would have to be a friend of ours to finance the shenanigans that happen here on a weekly basis. You can head over there to patreon.com/Nintendo Dads, or you can go to our website, nintendodads.org, for our link to our Patreon page. And for as little as $1 a month, you get access to our Discord. And then from there, there's other sub tiers as well. $5 a month gets you the full slate of channels in Discord. $10 gets you pre and post show audio, and $30 gets you on the show as a Patreon producer. You can sign up by the month. You can also sign up by the year. If you sign up for a yearly subscription, you pay it all up front, but we give you a month free. And if you're an Amazon Prime subscriber, you get a free monthly sub for Twitch as well. And that gets you in the Discord too, if you want to do it that way. So we just want to say a huge thanks to all of our patrons, all of our friends of the show, all of our Twitch subscribers, anybody who follows us on social media, shares our content, interacts with us, and our newest friends of the show, Star Wars Dads. We want to thank you for your support. We really appreciate you guys. And yes, the community that we have fostered here has birthed other shows like Star Wars Dads and other content. And that's why we curate our content. That's why we kind of gatekeep it a little bit. If you're looking for a friendly, accepting, really great community where you can kind of like come in and have a great time, this is the place for you. All right. So patreon.com/Nintendo Dads, or you can go to nintendodads.org and you'll find all the links over there. Hey guys, yesterday afternoon, Miyamoto popped on Twitter X to let everybody know that a brand new Star Fox Direct, would be premiering at 3 p.m. Pacific time.
Yeah, in 10 minutes.
Yeah, in 10 minutes. And that it would contain footage of a brand new Star Fox game. It started out with a little bit of promotion, of the Star Fox appearance in the Mario movie, but quickly moved
which
into,
caused every live reaction to get banned.
Yep. What
Thank
are we
you,
doing here?
YouTube. Thank
What
you,
are we doing here,
Universal.
YouTube? So
Yeah,
this
can
is
I
a
tell
brand
you
new.
about that? Can I tell you about that real quick?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
We did one too. We did a follow-up. We didn't do a live react to the
Sure.
posting. We did a follow-up recording, and some members of the community joined me on that. And our video today got banned as well afterwards. But do you want to know why?
Yeah, I do.
The dispute claim was because we showed the full movie of Galaxy movie. It said,
What?
dispute claim, Super Mario Galaxy full movie.
Hey guys, I didn't know if you realize how important we are. We actually have the full copy of the Mario Galaxy movie. We're showing it 24/7 here at Nintendo Dad's HQ. It's just
Amazingly
it's on a
enough,
big
we're
screen.
doing that in a 20-minute video.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. It's at hyperspeed. This is why we thought we could get away with it. My goodness. Anyway,
I
let's move on
immediately
to
disputed that one.
yeah. Let's move on to the good part of this news.
YouTube's AI monitoring is just garbage.
It is. Yeah. It's very garbage. Hey, we're getting a new Star Fox game. Actually, it's not new. It's Star Fox 64 being remade for the, what is this? How many times have we made Star Fox 64 now?
4 or 5 times.
4 or 5. There's a 60. Hang on. There's a Nintendo 64 version. Then there's the 3DS version.
Yes, which
Star
is
Fox
and
Zero
there's
is kind of a remake of that.
Is
Kind
it
of.
though? It kind of. It has new levels. It has new locations. And then there's this one, which is just, they even said, a graphical upgrade of Star Fox
That's
64.
It's based on. It's based on.
Yeah, and there's new things. But if you've played Star Fox 64, then essentially you've played this game. However, I do want to state that I think there are things they're not showing us, obviously, because Nintendo does that all the time.
Correct.
I think there's new levels. I think that prologue cutscene is a level. I think there's something they're not showing us there, because that's a big deal, right? And may I say too, they are doing a deep dive into the Star Fox lore with this game.
Yep.
All right. So first off, remake of Star Fox 64 with brand new character models and updated visuals. This is out on June 25th. Of course, you'll still be able to play with the R-Wing, the Landmaster, and the Blue Marine. So Star Fox Submergence is real, right? It's
Yes.
out there. You'll visit all the areas you know and love: Corneria, Ficina, Solar, Zone S, Medio, Sector 9. New mission briefing cutscenes will be added, as well as other additional cutscenes throughout the game. The game will also feature 3 difficulty levels, which will figure into challenge mode, where you play previously completed stages in an attempt to complete additional challenges. There will also be battle mode with 4v4 dogfights, Star Fox versus Star Wolf. Each stage will have its own rules. In one, it's just a dogfight. In the next one, it's like you're battling space pirates it's kind of capture the flag. And then the other one is like a resource collection thing on Ficina, where you're trying to get the energy orbs or whatever. Also, some features that have been added: game share is available for up to 4-player play with only 1 copy of the game. Also, you can game share to do that with 3 other people, and there will be mouse controlled targeting. Local co-op play will also allow you to split the duties between the pilot and the gunner, which I think is going to make some really funny YouTube videos and content for some people that are able to do that. Also, if you use game chat with the camera, a Star Fox character, and this is this the first time we've seen this feature pop up, by the way? The avatars, the animated avatars in game chat.
Yes.
Yeah.
From
So a
Nintendo,
Star Fox character.
we've seen this thing from Apple before a long time, several years ago.
And Samsung, yeah.
But I think this is
First time we've seen it from Nintendo.
yeah.
I was trying to think back on when we had the camera on the Wii U, if they did anything with that.
I'm talking about real time, like you're talking
No,
to
no, I get
somebody
it.
and you're gonna
Yeah.
look like Fox. It mirrors your head motions, your blinks,
Not
your
as
mouth
good as this,
movements,
we'll say
different things
that.
like that. Obviously the 4 characters, the 4 Star Fox team characters are available. It also looked like there were other characters underneath there in the video. Probably all the characters in the game are going to be able to do that. This
If
game
it's
is also going to be
if it's anything like what you said, Jesse, with when Apple did it and Samsung did it with, FaceTime and all that kind of stuff, you have to have a good amount of lighting to ensure
Mhm.
that the camera picks up those facial movements like
Yeah,
they did in the
ring light
video.
or something on
Yeah.
you, probably. This is also compatible with the Nintendo 64 controller. They made sure uh, to share that. So if you want the traditional style controls, you can do that. $49.99 digitally, $59.99 physically, and an eShop pre-order is available now for this game. Just real quick, I'm going to say, and then I'm going to get out of the way and let you guys talk about this. The game looks gorgeous. I absolutely love the redesign of the characters. I don't see what the hubbub is online. Of course, there's like it cracks me up that people are always like, Nintendo should do better, more detailed, more gritty, more dark visuals. Then they do, and everybody loses their minds. They're like, no, not like that. So I'm like, there were several jaw-dropping moments in the trailer where I just went, that looks amazing. Like, different scenes of like, and it looks like it plays very smooth. I cannot wait to play this game. I'm so excited about it. What did
Give
you
it to
guys
me
think?
now. Give it to me now.
When I was watching through it, the only thing I was thought of is Star Fox looks a little chunky in the face.
Yeah, we
but
actually
then,
talked about that.
And then when they showed the real time face tracking, I'm like, okay, that's why they did that.
Yeah.
They wanted to have a human proportion.
Well, actually, too, I think 8-Bit Clubhouse channel or server, they talked about it there too. Like, why was his neck look so chunky or meaty? I think is what they said.
That sounds like
and
something they would say.
somebody actually brought up. I think Kuz brought up a picture of a fox, and their neck is straight in line with their head, with their body.
Mhm.
So it's just like, it's like, okay, that makes sense.
It's
So
just
it's actually
blow
pretty
that up
close.
into human proportions, and that's what you
Yeah.
get.
So he's got a thick neck. But yeah,
Yep.
I just like give it to me now. That's where I'm at with it. It's like I hope they come out with a demo, which they have done with their games lately. So I'm hoping that's a game, a demo that we can continue the save file on and continue to play once the whole game comes out.
Never actually played Star Fox 64 or any subsequent game after that. Uh, I did play the Super Nintendo Star Fox and didn't really enjoy it. Of course, I'm not much of a shooter person, so that should not be a surprise. I'm probably going to pass on this, but I am very happy for those who are looking forward to this.
Yeah, I
It
played a
does look
lot of
cool, but I'm just not something I'm going to play.
I played a lot of the 3DS version, um, which is a 64. Is it Star Fox 64, but 3D now and updated stuff there. But it was still mainly for the multiplayer part of it. Because I love doing the dog fights.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to jump in the story as opposed to someone like Dan who plays it every year, kind of like the way you do Marty with Mega Man 2. You know, he plays it constantly. So he's
It's
And I play Pitfall too.
yeah,
yeah,
it's been a long time since I've done like a complete run of Star Fox 64.
yeah.
So it's long enough that like maybe I played the first stage or two here or there.
Mhm.
I do remember when I got the Nintendo 64 NSO controller. I played it on the Switch, and I was very disappointed at not being able, like, at the time, to remap controls for
Yeah.
that. And the directional up and down was not
Mhm.
to my liking. Now I know you can do it, but now I'm gonna wait. Now I don't want to. I thought about it the other day.
You've
I
only got
actually
6 weeks to wait.
well, the other day I actually had a thought. I was like, hey, once I finish Samus Returns on 3DS, I may play Star Fox 64, because I haven't picked it up in a while. And but now, yeah, I'll definitely wait on this.
Nice.
I really like, when they started showing the other Star Fox games in the direct, like they showed the original and they showed Adventure. I really did kind of hope that it was like, oh, and it's not just, and it's like, while you're enjoying Fox McCloud's story, you can go back to where it all began, and it'd be like, we've remade the original Star Fox, in this style, and that would have been killer. Because I get that there's like, or I know I've noticed that there's a camp of people who are very upset that Star
So,
Fox 64 is getting remade again.
is there a
But
timeline with this? Like, is the original the original Star Fox, and then 64 is a prequel, or is this
I have no clue.
or is everything's
That
just a
and that's
reboot of everything else?
that's why I think that this is going to be for Star Fox. This is going to be where it begins. That's why it's just called Star Fox. It's not doesn't have any subtitles. Doesn't have like Star Fox 2 or Star Fox any kind of like subtitle or anything like that. This is holy crap. People really responded to Fox in the Mario movie. Will and yes, this was probably coming anyway, but let's strike while the iron's hot. Let's get it out there. Let's set this as the starting point for a brand new Star Fox story. Does that make sense? Like, this is the beginning. This is what they wanted Star Fox Zero to be, I guess.
It makes sense.
So, is what you're saying is 64 basically a reboot of the Super Nintendo one? And then
64 was a reboot of the SNES one.
So then
okay,
essentially we've just been telling the same story over and over and over again.
Yeah.
It's just been the same thing.
So he says Zero is a sequel to SNES/64, and then Command is the third game in this. So basically, there's been 3 stories out of 7 games.
There's also a story in the Slippy Guard thing, the Star Fox Guard.
Yeah.
So I mean,
We don't talk about that one.
I know.
And
I would be
the funny part is
happy
that's
if-
the one game I did try to play. Legitimately, I tried to play it and I couldn't last long.
even if there's no extra stages to this and we just get this as a jump off point because the rumor is out there that the big leak, the big Nintendo leak earlier this year was that there were two Star Fox games coming, in addition to other things that were talked about, like the Ocarina of Time remake and other things. That there were two Star Fox games coming, one now and one later, and the later one was going to be more akin to Star Fox Adventure. It was more of an adventure-like game. And so maybe this is a stopgap. And I'm not saying like you could not have made this like the way this game looks. Like they could not have made this in the short time between the Mario movie.
No,
They like Star Fox.
this is at
This
least
has
3 years in the making.
this has been in the hopper. So what is the other one? That's what I want to know. Like, are we going to get a adventure style? I mean, I kind of hope it's not like another game that kind of got co-opted to Star Fox. And I would really not care if it's I never played adventure at all. But I know Star Fox Assault's out there, Star Fox Command. There's other games that kind of expanded. One of those was a sequel, I thought, right? Because like that's where.
Speaking of those,
Okay.
let me go over the timeline because I searched it up because I was curious. So we got the original timeline, which was the the Super Nintendo games.
Okay.
The one we got and the one we didn't get until much, much later when we got the classic, which is Star Fox and Star Fox 2. But then they call it the classic timeline, starting with the N64 version. Star Fox 64 is a reboot that retells the original story with deeper lore.
Okay.
Such as the fate of Fox's father, James McCloud. Then they came out with a manga, Farewell, Beloved Falco. It's set 4 years after Star Fox 64.
Is he really beloved?
Then Star Fox Adventures, set 8 years after Star Fox 64. Star Fox Assault occurs 1 year after Adventures. Star Fox Command, set 2 to 3 years after Assault. And then there's the reboot timeline. Star Fox Zero, a reimagining of Star Fox 64. Starlink Battle for Atlas is included in that timeline.
They're putting that in the timeline? Okay.
This is probably not an official Nintendo one.
Yeah,
this is the timeline.
Definitely someone's headcanon, but that's fine.
And then there's this one, an upcoming remake of Star Fox 64. So, but as of right now, yes, if we go with the classic timeline,
yeah, I think putting Starlink in there kind of killed the momentum.
Well, that was the rebooted timeline. So it started from 0 and then the games after that. It does say that it places Fox 1 year after 0 by the fans. So again, unofficial, but what seems more official is the classic timeline from Star Fox 64 all the way through to Star Fox Command on the GameCube.
Who knows? Since Nintendo doesn't really try to nail down their lore in a lot of games, this is what ends up happening.
It's because they've learned their lesson with Zelda.
If it gets popular enough, we get another game and everybody's buying up this one, we may get a Dark Horse book on it. We'll see.
The Star Fox item guide. I don't know. Is this a day one purchase for you guys?
This is a day right now purchase. Give it to me now.
Yeah.
Like I said, I want the demo that allows me to start the game while I'm waiting for the game to come out on the 25th.
Sure.
You just want to watch that opening animatic again.
Well, Nintendo just dropped that the Nintendo Music we were talking about in the pre-show. They just dropped in Nintendo Music the music that was in the Shadow Drop video we just talked about. And that music is awesome. Jesse, we were talking about Roger just blowing up about it in his video, and I watched that one too, and just I was just as excited about the music as he was. Well, I wouldn't say as he was. He's way more excited. But I was excited to see it to come out on Nintendo Music. And I had that playing up to when we started the show. So that's going to be playing and living on my phone for a while until probably the 25th. That's
But
the
hey,
best. That's as close as I can get to it.
You got Yoshi to play until then, right?
Yep. Yes.
You got Yoshi in the Mysterious Book. You can play that. Then you can
Yes.
play Star Fox until you play Splatoon Raiders. And then after that, we'll see. Right? I mean, we don't know
I need to
much
get
after July.
faster at completing these games, apparently. So I'm not going to complete any games if they keep dropping games like this.
Well, I really did also. I think this is one thing too that stuck out to me about this. I really thought that we would see brand new amiibo for all of the Star Fox team, or even an R-Wing amiibo, and we may still see one.
That might be the summer announcement.
There are like if you've noticed that most of the first party games that Nintendo has put out for Switch 2 have come with a amiibo attached, like at least one. So I think
we didn't get some of those
amiibo, but yeah, that shouldn't have been.
We didn't get some of those announcements until later too on some of those.
I will tell you this, mark my words, I haven't bought an amiibo in 2 years. But if they did an R-Wing amiibo and they did a Landmaster amiibo, those are 100% on my shelf. Especially if they're the bigger vehicle kind, like we've been getting, like we got with Kirby Air Ride.
Be $40, $50 amiibo.
Oh my gosh. You'd have to buy them separately. Like that's how much they would be. You'd have to buy the vehicle
I will buy
and then buy the amiibo that can go inside.
I've been critical of amiibo, but I would buy that one. I would.
I'm with you. I'd probably be there too.
Okay. So June 25th is going to be a great day. Star Fox will be out that day. I am very confident that we will see more about this, and there will probably be one more thing revealed about this before it launches.
Jesse, how can we convince you to play this game with us? Because if you play it, that means each one of us could be one of those animals.
Game share.
One of the Star Fox team.
Game share over game chat.
Game share.
Okay, yeah. There we go.
I can still play the multiplayer component with you without having to own the game myself.
There we go. Perfect. I forgot about that. Good call. Because that's what we need to do.
I don't think that we should be Team Star Fox. I think we should be Star Wolf.
We will do Star Wolf and take on any team that wants to.
I like Star Wolf
multiplayer.
I call
Vic
Leon.
says dibs on Wolf. If you know his streaming persona, you know why that's kind of funny.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's talk some more news. Hey guys, it wasn't just you. There was an issue between Amazon and Nintendo. That's why you couldn't buy, sometimes you couldn't find consoles or eShop cards or things like that.
I figured that was a thing since the 3DS.
Yep. Well, former president
I figured there was always something going on behind the scenes we'd probably never hear. But
Reggie has let us hear about it on those behind the scenes at a lecture at the NYU Game Center. And he says that Nintendo intentionally stopped selling hardware to Amazon for a time because of what he describes as illegal demand. Basically, to make a long story short, Amazon contacts Nintendo and basically says, what is the cheapest that you will give us a console, because we want to sell it cheaper than any retailer online. We want to undercut everyone and basically specifically to undercut Walmart. And Reggie refuses. He states that giving one retailer preferential financial support to fix lower prices was illegal and would destroy Nintendo's relationships. And when Amazon wouldn't budge, Nintendo said, fine, we'll just stop selling you consoles then.
I don't know about illegal, but definitely would destroy the relationship with other partners.
Definitely shady. A little underhanded.
Yeah, definitely not moral.
Since Reggie said that, reports from Fortune and Bloomberg indicated that Nintendo also pulled its products from Amazon US ahead of the massive Switch 2 launch because third-party merchants were undercutting official prices using stock imported from cheaper regions. So Amazon kind of came back and proposed using authenticity tags to verify products, but Nintendo found this insufficient and opted to miss out on the platform's reach for the launch. However, relationship appears to be mended because since Donkey Kong Bonanza has come out, Nintendo has returned to selling products on Amazon. And like
That's
Jesse
interesting.
said, this is not what maybe not necessarily illegal, but it doesn't look good.
Mm-mm.
Vic says price fixing is illegal by definition, but this isn't necessarily price fixing. This is just them asking for a better deal than everyone else. It's MSRP recommended. Merchant doesn't have to put it at that price. We've seen that with the upcoming Yoshi game. A lot of retailers are putting that up at the same price of digital, even though the physical's $10 more.
Yeah, and there's also been reports of Walmart's across the nation cutting game prices drastically. There was a photo that circulated earlier this week of Walmart's having Donkey Kong Bonanza at $40, Zelda at $50. So who knows?
Yeah, and a lot of that is probably bargain bidding to make room for more future product. But if Amazon wanted to even just not necessarily take a loss, but still no profit, just basically sell it at wholesale price. That's still their prerogative. They could have done that if they wanted to. Nintendo still gets the money regardless of uh, who the merchant is. Amazon obviously didn't want to do that, but still, it would be advantageous because people are buying the system from them. They'll probably buy more games, and the games are more profitable.
Yep.
And accessories. A lot of people were buying accessories.
Accessories are the most profitable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is why a lot of times you'll see GameStop. Like I still remember when I got my Wii from GameStop when that back in
Bundles.
2000. Yeah, I had to get it in a bundle that had like 3 accessories and 6 games.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they wouldn't sell it individually.
Yeah.
That's what we need to do is come up with a Nintendo Dad's bundle.
Yeah, that I don't know. That's
Hmm.
probably borderline legal as well. But again, definitely not
the
moral.
bundling. Yeah. On the retail side of things too, if you haven't heard, Target dropped a whole line of Pokemon merch this week as well, and people responded in an entirely appropriate way.
Of course not.
By scalping Pop-Tarts, soup, and in some cases stealing the Pokemon themed displays from Target and turning around and selling them on eBay for hundreds, if not thousands of dollars.
I saw that. I wondered what the heck that was about.
Yeah. So this was over the weekend, May 2nd. There was a Target Cross Pokemon 30th anniversary drop that advertised things like hoodies and clothing, keycaps, glasses, all kinds of different things. There were a few locations that held it together, but for the most part, supposed grown-ups ruined the experience for everyone, just like they do every time they restock Pokemon cards at your local retailer.
No,
a second drop of this is scheduled apparently for June 6th. It has been coming in and out of stock online if you're still looking for a certain item. But y'all, when it's come to a point where we're scalping Pop-Tarts and Campbell's soup, it's time to admit you have a problem. Okay? Yeah. This fandom is not for kids anymore. It's toxic. Bottom line, I'm sorry.
Any of these things that we have to go ahead, Marty.
And well, no, you go ahead. I have a very low tolerance for scalpers. Very low tolerance.
This goes for any of those popular things that people know they can make money on, right? This is what frustrates me the most is that you are a fan. I'm not talking about the scalpers. I'm talking about us as fans want to be able to go buy this thing that we enjoy a lot and we want to have either on our shelves or wear it or represent that we
Yeah.
enjoy that
Like
product.
that stupid
But
little
we
music
can't.
thing that looked like a Game Boy with the 75 cartridges.
Yes.
I would have
Yes.
loved to have one of those. I'm not paying scalper prices for it. Thank you.
Exactly. It's like people buy those up not to enjoy themselves. They buy it up so they can scalp it and put it out and flip it.
And
And
why?
that's the
Because
problem.
they know there are people who want it to enjoy it, and
Yes.
therefore they will have to pay a higher inflated price for them or their children to enjoy it.
Yes.
And inevitably, when anytime we talk about this or people talk about it, the inevitable comment that comes up and goes, "Oh, capitalism," and I want to say, capitalism does not entitle people to be buttholes.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. I mean, like, I get supply and demand, whatever,
Right.
but y'all, like, what if you do this and you even remotely like any of these things that people scalp, whether it's concert tickets or shoes or anything, what are you doing to the future of that when like families can't get into it? Like, I have a friend who very casual about anything, um, but his kids love Pokemon, and he went to a Pokemon like game day at a local card shop in his town, and they live in and around the Nashville area. And he came back and he said, never again. He said it was absolute pandemonium in there.
Right.
Because
Wow.
he said not only did you have kids who are trying to do like stuff, but he said then you've got adults in there who are trying to take advantage of kids because they're trying to trade for stuff that kids don't know is valuable,
Yeah.
so that
Yes.
then they can turn
Exactly.
around and flip it and resell it.
Yeah. There's not
That's
enough of the people out
mm,
there who you see videos of who are actually trying to help the kids get something that they are looking for or trade appropriately and learn the process and all that kind of stuff. I've seen those people who are fantastic at what they do, and
yeah,
I'm thankful for those kind of
and that's
people.
great.
But then there's the jerks out there who take advantage, like you said, of kids or just people not in the know. And
So
yeah,
being in a smaller area back when the NES Classic craze was going on, I had an
yeah,
inside line at my local Walmart that would tell me when they were coming in.
mhm.
I could have turned around and used that for evil. Like, it would have been great to have some extra pocket money when people were
Yeah,
paying $200, $300 for those things.
yeah,
That would have been great because it was right around Christmas, right? Instead, what I did was I used that to get them to people who could not get off work and who could not do so. Like, my office is 5 minutes from a Walmart, and
mhm.
the person who helped me find these said, I can't tell you how many, like, I can't save it for you, and I can't tell you how many we've got left, but I can tell you when they're here. And you're close, so hopefully you'll get at least one of them. So I
Yeah,
helped like 5 or 6 families get one because they wanted one of those. And I felt like I was like, that's kind of something that's a service I can provide. And
Yeah,
they would be like,
that's a
well,
proper
we'll,
use of
we'll
knowledge.
give you extra money. And I did not take, I never took extra money. I was just like, pay me what it costs. What was
yeah,
it? What were those, 79.99 or something like that?
60 or
Like
70 at
59?
most.
Yeah, I said just pay me what the cost is. And I'm not saying that to toot my own horn. I'm just saying that to say that, like, I could have turned around and done that very easily.
yeah,
I did not.
yeah,
When Amiibo first came out and they started getting hot, like, I could have gone to Walmart and we had Marths for days. And I don't know why we had so many Marths, but I could have gone and gotten all of those and then turned around and flipped them for 100 and $120. I just don't. What's the point in that? Like, you're taking it away from people who want it just so you can do what? I mean, I don't know. Yeah,
you make a business out of it. There's people
I
who are
run.
making a business out of it for sure.
Mm,
And I'm not trying to take away that part of it. What I'm trying to get at is that you have when you go up in there and buy up everything because you're trying to flip to make double that money, um, and you're taking away from people who are want to enjoy it, who want to
mhm.
go. buy it and take it out of the box and either play with it or have it displayed or whatever it is they want to do with it. That's what I don't like.
9 times out of
And
10, they aren't claiming this revenue in their taxes.
Yeah.
and the thing is that the flip side of that too is that like a lot of videos you see of that kind of like fervor and pandemonium are in bigger areas.
Mhm.
They come out of that. What doesn't get talked about is that when resellers, scalpers, what I call them scalpers. Sorry, I'm not gonna call them resellers. When scalpers do that in rural areas like we are, like where I am, it completely kills any kind of market for collectibles.
Yeah.
And so what happens is stores actually quit carrying those because what's left over just sits on the shelves because nobody wants it because they can't find new product. And so things disappear. Like certain retailers will stop. Well, they'll be like, well, that's not performing well here, so we'll not sell it anymore.
Yeah.
And so we don't get to see some of the other things that come out because we have like in our area, we have one Target. We don't have
Yeah.
like three or four that like people are going and hitting and getting all the things. We have one Target. All the others are an hour to an hour and a half away.
Mhm.
We have one Walmart in, like per county sometimes. Sorry, we don't, if somebody comes and cleans all that out, and then what's left, like I specifically think about with Transformers. Like, Transformers, a new wave will come out and they'll be like, there's a one that everybody wants, and it's 2 to a case of 8. Well, what's the other part of the case of 8? It's toys that are already on the shelf. So then
Yeah.
those just sit and sit and sit and sit. And so then when they do the department refresh, then it's like, well, leader class Transformers didn't sell good anymore, so we're not carrying them at this Walmart anymore. So then it makes it even harder for people who would like to have just one to find it. So then we
Yeah.
have to go and we have to wait for the like online drops, or we have to go stand in line, or we have to eventually go to resellers sometimes if we miss it.
Yeah.
In particular, there was a Transformers line that was out a few years ago called Transformers Earthrise. Target had a very specific character. We never saw that character in this area. At least I don't know if, and I can't drive 30 minutes one way every day to be at
Yeah.
Target when they open. Like, I have a life, I have a
Right.
job, I have family, I have responsibilities. I can't do that.
Yeah.
And so like there was no way to like if it was there, I have no clue. So eventually, it's you come down, it's like either I don't have it or the I pay the tax.
Yeah.
I never got it because I'm not going to pay $100 for a thing that costs $15.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah. That's actually what happened when you speak of that, the Transformers. That's what's happened for me for the Devastator ones. I wanted to
Mm,
get the Devastators, but they all got bought up. So
and now they're
unless
online
I,
for even
yeah,
more.
if I go online, the closest I could get to the original price was what was it, T Force or whatever,
TF
or
Source.
TF Source, yeah. So, but they're always like they're still marked up too, just a slightly bit. So
Just wait on Big Bad Toy Store. That's where you need to go. Big Bad Toy Store, they will restock eventually and it will be close to the original retail price.
yeah,
Don't buy from TF Source ever. Sorry.
it's okay.
I'm just
I got
I'm
over it.
biased. I'm super
Yeah,
biased.
I don't buy from them anymore. So
Yeah,
it's
I gotcha.
I if I get I'm back to the rule because of all of this. It's like if I can't get it in the store, I'm not gonna go hunt for it online
Mm,
unless it is, unless I'm checking like the other stores locally to me because I do have more around that I could drive to. So I will check and say, okay, hey Target, do you have this? And it'll say it's at the store or
and you'll go.
within these a mile radius, and I'll be able to go. Like I got the battle damage Optimus Prime for that way. So yeah,
Okay.
it's getting better that way, but it's definitely like we've experienced it with the Nintendo games when they were trying to flirt with trying to figure out how to do that with the collector's editions, even with their own website,
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
would
Yeah.
still get sold out immediately. And it's like, come on. There's got to be a better way to do this.
Yeah, there is.
So, yeah.
But who knows? Anyway, don't be like these people, please. Also, Super Mario Galaxy movie news. We'll kind of round out news with this. The Super Mario Galaxy movie is poised to become the first billion-dollar film of 2026, having already become the highest grossing film of 2026. Domestic gross is estimated to sit around $404 billion. Foreign gross is estimated to sit at somewhere around 485 billion. Or I'm sorry, that should be million. That should be million. All right.
Yes.
It should be million. So 404 million and 485 million. The movie has absolutely exploded in Japan in the last little bit. The movie comes to digital services for purchase and rental on May 20th. Of course, it'll come to streaming much later than that, but and also a physical copy if you want that. So it's still going, guys. There people are still going and seeing it. I fully believe it'll cross the $1 billion mark very, very soon.
I was
We'll
actually
see.
wondering that if it's floating around 900 million, and it's only got 2 weeks left before it's hitting home distribution. I don't know if it'll hit 1 billion, but it'll still get close. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
already close, but it'll get closer.
yeah. Some releases and updates
So
to
Star Wars Dad says the Mandalorian Grogu movie will beat it.
I highly doubt it. Especially considering what I'm hearing about Disney possibly killing the sequel trilogy and acting like it's an alternate universe with season 2 of Ahsoka. That'll be very interesting if they do
Yeah,
that.
I
You know
know.
what the number one, by the way, Star Wars dads, y'all know what and you probably know this, the number one streamed Star Wars media on Star Wars Day. Do you know what it was?
I have a guess.
What do you think it was?
The Christmas special.
No,
Okay.
it was it was it was Andor,
Wow.
the sequel trilogy. 7, 8, and 9 didn't even chart in the top 10.
I'm not surprised. I liked them, but I could
Yep,
I I the second trilogy wasn't as good as the first. That's my
sure.
opinion. Yeah, I'm not going to argue. Just that's my opinion. But I think the second trilogy is better than the third.
Yeah, yeah. I will
I
agree with
like the
that. There's
original
no
three
argument.
best.
There's no argument. I support that. All right, some releases and updates here at the end of the news. Out now today, came out this week. Constance, Wax Heads, mixtape for Switch 2. Tethergeist, Blood Refresh Supply, Nintendo Switch 2 edition. Call of the Elder Gods, and a new photo mode for Dynasty Warriors Origins on Switch 2 has been released this week. Out before the next update, we've got Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. And just to kind of take a chunk out of our what we've been playing, Tim and I and Justin are all playing Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, thanks to the developers and folks that sent us some codes and physical copies. And so we can't talk about it other than that, just to let you know we're playing it. And there will be some video content out for you next week so that you can find out if this is a game you want to play for yourself as well. Also out soon, Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, May 21st, and Mina the Hollower now has a release date on Switch and Switch 2 of May 29th. So we'll also be playing that this month as well. Out later, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, very soon on June 3rd. The Adventures of Elliot, The Millennium Tales, June 18th. Star Fox is out June 25th. High on Life 2, July 1st. Rhythm Heaven Groove on July 2nd. And Splatoon Raiders on July 23rd. And then 007 First Light and He-Man and Masters of the Universe, Dragon Pearl of Destruction will be out sometime this summer. Also, add to that list, Lego Batman
I was going to mention that too.
has a release date on all platforms except Switch 2.
Yeah,
Even Nintendo tweeted
when
about it.
they originally announced the May release date, it was on all platforms, and then they said, "Oopsie, switch later."
Yeah, that's unfortunate because I was going to buy it on Switch too, but now I'm not.
Yeah, that's the one I'm looking forward to out of all these games. The Lego Pac-Man.
By the way, if you haven't seen it, they released a brand new trailer for it today that uses Kiss from a Rose by Seal.
Awesome.
And
I
it's
have not seen that,
fantastic.
but I need to look for it.
You need to check it out because basically what they're doing is they're not doing like each movie, they're doing an amalgamation of
Yeah,
all
they're
the
all the
movies
movies.
together. Yep. I'm really looking forward to Lego Batman. So hey, be sure to check out our YouTube channel for first looks on some of these games, as well as new releases. We'll probably do talk back about Indiana Jones next week as well. And you can find all of that stuff at our YouTube channel. Just type in Nintendo Dads. There it is. With that being said, it's time for an ad break from our friends at Manscaped.
Today's podcast is in partnership with Manscaped, the men's grooming brand trusted by over 13 million men worldwide. I'm thrilled to talk about again the latest masterpiece from Manscaped, the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. It has that new colorway desert sand that we talked about before. It also has, they've been promoting a purple and a black one with purple kind of colors or highlights, which looks really sweet. You should go check it out. But especially the desert sand one, the special edition trimmer is limited edition. So limited numbers. It has it pairs rugged style with precision and performance, and it's inspired by endless horizons and built for those who thrive off the beaten path. This isn't just a trimmer, it's your ultimate tool for conquering the wildest terrain. Just a quick PSA though, there are again limited quantities available in this colorway, so you got to go check it out if you are interested. Some of the things that we want to call out on this device for body hair trimming is experience unparalleled precision with the next gen dual skin safe blade heads, one trimmer blade and one foil blade designed for flawless performance. The updated trimmer blade features longer, wider, and rounded teeth to tackle hair effortlessly, while the foil blade provides a sleek, smooth finish. Switching between the two blades is a breeze, giving you the versatility you need for all grooming needs. It's like having two trimmers in one, making sure you're always looking trim and tidy without breaking the bank. And for the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra, Manscaped upgraded their infamous LED light. That's the little light you have on there so you can see where you're going around those curves, especially those tricky spots. It also upholds the same features that we've all come to love, which is a rechargeable battery, RPM technology for top-notch performance, a travel lock so it doesn't turn on during travel and drain your battery, USB-C charging, and a comprehensive 3-level battery life indicator. And it's still waterproof. So you can take it in the shower or take it out in the lake or in the beach or something if you want to trim your body hairs out there, I guess. It's always trimming time, apparently. Join the over 13 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped for all their grooming needs and get the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra in the desert sand colorway. And again, they also have the black with purple colorway. While supplies last, get 15% off and free shipping with our code NINDADS, NINDADS, at manscaped.com. That's 15% off and free shipping with the code NINDADS at manscaped.com.
All right, that sound means that it's time to discuss. And news kind of broke this week that Shigeru Miyamoto himself recently said that Jesse's beloved The Legend of Zelda 2, Link's Adventure, was kind of a failure, in his own words. And so it got me thinking about something for us to talk about here in the middle of the show. What is a game that is generally considered to be a disappointment or failure that you absolutely love? And it can't be Zelda 2.
Oh,
because he said he has a like
Yeah,
he had a soft spot for Zelda 2, but it was kind of a failure, and he considers Link to the Past to be the true sequel to The Legend of Zelda.
I can see that coming from him, and I think he's yeah. I don't think this is the first time he said that. I think he's been saying that a bit for a while. He just may have just recently said it again.
Hmm.
Um, I'm actually trying to think of a game other than Zelda 2, but uh,
It could even be
Well,
like a game that didn't do well when it came out, it's a commercial failure, but it had a cult following.
I have one I can give you guys.
Go ahead.
Uh, game I loved that I know didn't do well because they closed the studio afterwards, if I remember correctly, is Split Second Velocity. It's a racing game that was developed by Black Rock Studios and published by Disney Interactive Studios.
Is that
Disney
the one where
Interactive,
you could like different things happen depending on like at parts of the race?
yes,
Like you could,
you can affect the track ahead of you so that it would
yes.
stop the people who were ahead of you, blow up the track, blow up a tower, blow up a boat, all kinds of stuff. You affect the track, and basically, and if you did a really big change or effect, like there was one in the very first track, I think you can knock down the airport tower, and it'll reroute the track the next time you go around. So I love that game, and actually, anytime I can buy it, I bought it. So I have it now on Steam still because you can still get it there, and I have it on Xbox because you can still get it there. I think you can play it on PlayStation if you have their premium access because I think it's in that catalog there. Um, but I always hoped that they would make a sequel. I don't think Black Rock Studio exists anymore. Disney Interactive Studios doesn't exist anymore. So I would like something similar. Although I will say that the Carmageddon Rogue shift is pretty darn close. Even though you're not necessarily affecting a lot of the things around you as much, there are some things that do that, and it plays kind of similar to that. That it gives me the same feels. So I have that, but Split Second was one of those ones that I thought I love that game. Still play it to this day when I can, and but don't think it did very well.
Okay.
yeah, I'm just thinking of
Jesse.
games that are the opposite of this question, like games I wanted to like but didn't. So I can't think of any games that on paper or like on paper I wouldn't have liked, but I ended up liking it. Uh,
Ball Pit, didn't you kind of
yeah,
like?
I guess Ball Pit probably would fall in that category.
But that one
It's,
still does pretty good though.
yeah, it's just not a game I would have expected to like.
Yeah.
Uh, the one of the Steam World games, I guess. I think last year they had a sequel, or the year before.
Steam World
Heist.
Heist. Heist.
Yeah, I liked the first game. Didn't get into the second one though, but I did like the first one, which again, on paper, is a game that I shouldn't like.
Yeah. It does seem like a lot of the Steam World games lately I enjoy the heck out of, but
Yeah,
don't
I liked
seem to
the
be
early
as
ones,
popular.
Dig 2, but later ones been haven't connected with me.
Yeah, I've been fine, especially the Steam World build. Like I love that game. I'm not sure how well
Yeah,
it did because I'm not in the loop on that one.
right,
It seemed
but
like it
yeah,
did well.
you like SimCity, so that's a Tim game
Yeah.
just right off the bat.
Right, but but that's an example of a game that I love, but I'm not sure that it got did
Yeah,
well.
you don't hear a lot of people talking about that game.
Yeah,
Not as much
it
as
did.
Heist and Dig 2 did when they were, a year
Right,
after they were out. People were still talking
right.
about it.
Yeah. And maybe it
Hmm.
did because
Yeah.
they had some DLC for it. They dropped a few DLC updates, but yeah, not 100% sure if they're gonna do it at Steam world build 2. I hope they do. That'd be awesome. I wonder if they would do a Switch 2 edition of that. I'd play that game again. They did Switch 2 edition. Updates, upgrades.
I'll support.
So
Mouse support.
mouse
Yes.
support would be perfect for that game. So my answer to this is every single TurboGrafx 16 game that I had
Okay.
as a teenager, because there are some really fun hidden gems in the midst of that catalog that not a lot of people got to play.
Yeah.
Some of them were kind of awkward, Keith Courage and Alpha Zones. I'm looking at you, but for the most part, there was a lot of good stuff in there. The Bonk games were incredibly fun. There was a great series called Legendary Axe. They had some really awesome pinball games. Alien Crush was one of those. There was also a Zelda-esque game called Newtopia that was a ton of fun and did things really well. And Super Star Soldier was a great shmup on there. I just, it was just it never failed. It never got the market carved out, and so it just didn't make it. And so I would say that it was either that or my other answer was going to be Psychonauts.
Oh yeah. Well, they did come out a sequel to that. But
They
it's like that's
did,
like a
but
cult classic
it
type
came
thing,
it
right?
came out and it was a commercial failure, but there were enough people who were interested in it that it kind of caught a second wind,
Yeah, that's
and
that's
it
one that
did.
I wanted to like, but I couldn't. I didn't get very far in it.
I enjoyed it. I
I
beat
think it
the first one.
was.
I never played the
I think
second
it
one.
was the 3D environment and the platforming didn't work well in some places. That's what made me fall off.
Especially at the end.
That
But
would be cool actually if they came out with Psychonauts 1 and 2 on the Switch too.
would love that. Yeah,
Isn't that studio owned by Sony now?
probably. They
No,
might be.
that's Xbox. They
Xbox.
Xbox
Yeah,
bought.
Xbox could do it. Yeah.
Yeah, then it's got a
Uh,
chance.
so a couple comments here on this from our community. David Bileka says Captain Toad Treasure Tracker and Super Mario Maker 2, although never identified as a failure, I do think Nintendo hoped they would sell and perform better. So I guess no sequel or follow up. And then Hoot says, I don't know how much of a failure these are, but the two big ones that come to my mind are Super Mario Sunshine and Kid Icarus Uprising. This could very well be just because Sunshine came out when I was 10, but Galaxy lost a ton of the challenge I enjoyed in Sunshine. And going back to 64 reminds me that the N64 is maybe a bit of a relic at this past. I think maybe he's a little confused because Sunshine was GameCube. So I don't know. He also says that everyone dunks on Kid Icarus Uprising, especially on the controls, but somehow I never had an issue with them. It was an incredible experience, and I'm shocked is on so few top 3DS game lists.
It's in my top 10. It is one of my favorites as well. I loved Kid Icarus on Uprising on the 3DS.
I think didn't Nintendo Voice Chat talk highly of it recently as well?
I think so. Yeah.
Yep. And speaking of which, Retro Logic podcast, they did a top 3DS games recently. So
It's fantastic. I like it. I don't think it's in my top 10, but it's like 11 if it's not. It's a great
Cell
game.
says Circle Pad Pro go.
Yes.
right.
Gotta have the Circle Pad Pro. Absolutely. All right. Let's talk about a rumor before we get into what we've been playing. All right, so if the leak is to be believed, because the Star Fox game was real, there's going to be an Ocarina of Time remake. I think it's probably the worst kept secret that Nintendo's got going on right now. Tons of people are talking about it. But this particular rumor, I felt like we needed to talk about. It's not just about the Ocarina of Time remake, but about how it could be split into two parts, with one game focusing on child Link and the other focusing on adult Link. And so, how do we feel about this? Because I immediately want to go thumbs down on it. I hate that idea.
This actually came up a month or two ago on the show, and my first thought was the last dungeon required you to go back and forth between them, so that that alone wouldn't make this work well. Kind of.
You can only unlock the last dungeon if you own both games.
Oh, that's even worse. But now that this has come up again, I kind of thought about it more. And if they do more than just like the 3DS remake, which is the old game, new coat of paint, but is still the old game. If they Final Fantasy VII this, really expand it, really change what's going on, it could work. But they would have to change a lot of fundamental things about the game, and those are the things that people like about the game. So it would be a big risk to do that.
I think that kind of goes in line with the other part of a rumor surrounding this game, is that it's not just a remake, it's rebuilt from the ground up.
Right. Again, it would have to be if they were to do this.
I don't know that I want that. Like I'll play it probably, but that's not going to be like I've not really enjoyed the breaking up of Final Fantasy VII into 3 separate games, but here we are.
Yeah. I don't want to see them Breath of the Wild this game. I want the basic structure to still be the basic structure.
I would
if they want to enhance it, sure, but I don't want to turn this into a 100-hour game, or 150-hour game,
250
or 250-hour game.
We heard you like Ocarina of Time, so we're giving you a lot of Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, it would definitely be a game that I would try just because it's Zelda, but if I don't click, I'm not going to force myself.
Yeah. Okay.
Just like you said that you weren't a fan of when they announced that they were doing Final Fantasy VII in 3 games. You probably have nostalgia for the original game then, yes?
I do.
Okay, I never did. So
the reason I bought a PlayStation.
In fact, I just talked to my son about this yesterday. The first time I tried playing the game, because I never owned a PS1. First time I tried playing 7 was in late PS2 era when I found a used copy of the PS1 discs for relatively cheap. And I think I got 2 hours in and fell off. And then I tried it again when it was available for $10 on the PS3. And then again, didn't last much longer than an hour.
That's how I am with Ocarina of Time. I've tried it each time that there was a version of it to play. I got the farthest on the 3DS, but it still couldn't hold my attention long enough. Like the 2D Zeldas could. Like as soon as there's a 2D one, like Link Between Worlds, I played that until I finished it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but just for whatever reason, the 3D ones at the time just were not clicking with me. And I think I mentioned this before. Breath of the Wild is the first 3D Zelda I beat. So,
yeah, and Majora, I tried playing that one when it was new, when it was on Wii Virtual Console, and couldn't get into it. But the 3D version with the enhancements they did I was able to play through that and to finish, and I think 100%ed it. I think I ended the game with Fierce Deity Mask and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Which made the final fight completely irrelevant.
I'm willing to give it another try, but I don't know about splitting it up, especially from what I understand everybody explaining to me. Like there's so much um, twining, time jumping, and all that kind of stuff. It would kind of take away from that mechanic unless there was something else.
Yeah.
So
Personally, like I can see why people would want it to be two games, but I think that that's like unnecessarily stretching it. And there's going to be parts of the game that wear really thin unless they've come up with something really engaging, right? Like
yeah,
new dungeons or something like that. But
Yeah,
anyway, it's all just a rumor.
because the main game itself is still 35 hour game.
Yeah.
If they were to split it into two games, they would have to make each at least that much. Otherwise, it wouldn't be worth the effort.
And people would go, "What do you mean it's only 15 hours, 20 hours per game? Shouldn't be 59.99." It's like a rock and a hard place. It's danged if you do, danged if you don't.
Right.
Yeah, Tim.
so I know that you've had a long day, Marty. So let me just offer this before we leave the rumors. Instead of jumping to what we've been playing, let's flip it real quick because I think you would want to be around for talking about Mother's Day at least.
Sure.
We'll
Absolutely.
do that, and
And what I've
then
been playing is stuff everybody else has been playing.
you can talk about what you've been playing and then drop. So,
No, I'm just saying it's two games that everybody else has been playing. So there you go.
all right.
I didn't have a whole lot of time this week.
So yeah, let's reverse it, Jesse. Let's jump into the community spotlight real quick. All right. So last week, towards the end, I did mention at the beginning last week's show that there would be something we would announce at the end of the show, and then it was to get everybody to send us voicemails and emails about how their moms influenced them in gaming somehow or supported them or something about their moms because Mother's Day is coming up this weekend. Can you believe that? It's a Sunday, Mother's Day. So we were asking for the community to give us some information, and we had a good turnout. We had a good, maybe a good handful of people who gave us something, either emails or a voicemail. Jesse, you had the voicemail ready, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then Nintendo even sent us something too. So we'll share that as well. So starting off first with Sparky, he's a member of our community and he sent in, "Hi, hope you're all well. I know you were gathering thoughts on mums and gaming for Mother's Day, so thought I would drop a line if it's not too late. Sadly, I lost my mom early this year as cancer finally proved too much for her. I remember, though, many years ago, my parents got me the best Christmas present ever, a Commodore 64 computer with a tape deck and a 1,541 disk drive. A Christmas I will always remember. Who knows, without that present back then, I might not have formed a love of computers and then consoles. My mom always showed an interest in my gaming and got me many a title for Christmas over the years, and I'll always be grateful for her generosity and love. She's sadly missed. Good luck with the show and love to all the moms out there."
Thank you for sharing that story.
It is a beautiful story, Sparky. Thanks for
It
sharing that.
is. And
Koopy Kid 80 shares his story. Mother's Day is coming up. And he's got a question for that, but his memory is, "My memories of my mom regarding Nintendo and video games is going to one of three places: the local Toys R Us to browse the glass wall of video games,
mm,
consoles, picking up the ticket sheet for whichever NES game my brothers or I wanted, and going to the magical counter where the associate would go in the back and appear with the game. Frantically getting in the car, ripping it open to read the manual on the way home, and my mom saying not to leave the wrapping garbage in the back of the car. There was
Yep.
also a local mom and pop video game store with a 4-foot Mario statue in the front that would always prompt me to ask my mom and dad to stop and to browse the selection. The last store was the local rental shop, wood paneling on the walls and a shag rug, and renting the games and looking at the printed out manuals included. Occasionally, they would sell the old rentals, one of which, Solomon's Key, I still have till today. Also, just as a shout out to a mom-like figure, my best friend's grandma showing up was a was like a grandmother to me as she would frequently take us to toy stores, and I would go over to his house where we would go in the basement, drink Ecto Cooler, eat Doritos, and play
Oh,
Mega Man on the NES. She was great, and I'm still friends with Chris 40 years later. My mom is not much of a gamer, played original Mario Brothers, but she always fostered my interest in the hobby and my imagination. Love you, Mom. Happy Mother's Day, all. And then
that's cool too. I
before we
have a
get,
lot of those similar memories. You know,
yeah, go
the
ahead,
glass,
Marty.
though the glass wall of Toys R Us. You know, all the console boxes behind
Hmm.
glass, the giant wall of tickets.
Yep.
Man, I miss that. Like I miss that experience of walking in and seeing like the new game and snatching one of those tickets and going up front and
Right.
waiting for them to bring the box out.
And the
The
frustration
video
of not
store
being able
too.
to touch those things behind the glass.
Yeah. But getting to see them because like I'll never
Yes.
forget going in a Toys R Us and seeing the Game Boy box behind glass and realizing Game Boy's here. Like it's
Yes.
out, you know, and getting it that night. Like I got a
Right.
Game Boy in Mario Land.
Yeah.
But the rental store thing hits hard too. Like that is a whole section of life that today we miss out on. The video
Closest we
store.
have is a library.
Yeah,
That's the closest we have
yeah,
today.
that's right. If your library carries video games, ours does
Mhm.
not.
If that is the big point there, if.
Yep,
Before I get into Nintendo's thing, why don't we listen to C-Dub's Mother's Day thing?
Hey, Nintendo Dads, it's C-Dub here. I'm just calling to share my favorite mom gaming memory. So this I would have been about 11 years old. Um, I remember it distinctly. It was New Year's Eve of 1990, so turning into 1991. Me and my mom went to the local video game store and rented Pinbot for NES. We brought it home, and we had pizza. It was just really good memories. We sat down and we played Pinbot all night long, taking turns, player one, player two, challenging each other, see who could get the high score. And like I said, we played that game all night long and into the new year. And to this day, that is one of my favorite video game memories. And it's also my favorite pinball game, period. And I've also had the opportunity to play the physical pinbot machine. But
Nice.
anytime I think about pinball, I always think about pinbot. And I will always remember those fond memories that I had that night, turning over to the new year. I was sitting in front of the big Curtis Mathis TV with the NES and playing pinbot with my mom, having fun. And
That's
you know,
awesome.
thankfully my mom is still with us, so I can still continue to have memories with her. But I know I will cherish that memory for the rest of my life. But anyways, that's all I've got for today. Love the show, and I hope you guys have a great evening.
that's awesome.
Love it. That is
So
fantastic. Love hearing that kind of stuff.
yeah, I wanna kind of throw out here mine because it I've already kind of tipped my hand to it that and he talks about it too.
Mm.
That like, you know, I got an NES when I was 8 years old. It was the Christmas that I had turned is 1988. And I just remember after that, like if I was sick and had to go to the doctor, the hospital that we would go to the doctor at was right across the street from a mom and pop video store in Dixon, Tennessee called Video Vision, right? And Video Vision, no, I have a ton of stuff from there, like to talk about. That is the place that discovered my love of pro wrestling because right beside the door when you walk in was all the wrestling pay-per-view tapes and
Nice.
yes, VHS tapes, and that was the very first wrestling match I ever watched it was the SummerSlam '94 Undertaker versus Undertaker on the front cover. And that I don't know why that grabbed my attention, but it did. I had to figure out how was this going on, right?
Yeah.
And it honestly probably my favorite WWE match of all time is on that Bret Hart versus Owen Hart in the classic blue steel cage that that they used to
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's probably one of my favorite matches of all time. But across from there was the rack of video games. And so if I was sick, I always taught my mom into two things: McDonald's and for lunch and rent a game, right? Because I mean, I'm bored. I'm going to be home all day. I'm going to be sick. Surely a video game will make me feel better. So I played a lot of terrible
Surely.
NES games because, like you would go in there and it's like you have this rack and you can see the cover and you can see what's printed on the back of the box. Unless you're getting like Nintendo Power or Electronic Gaming Monthly, Game Pro, something like that, you don't know, right?
Right.
So that continued on into the Super Nintendo era, even the Nintendo 64 era. Blockbuster had come around by that time and kind of put Video Vision out of business, which sucks now that I think about it. But the other thing I talk about is um, just from there, and this is mom adjacent, but the racks, I think I've talked about this on the show before, but the racks were set like like they had a set width. So like
Mm.
if they had configured a rack to hold NES games, they had apparently it had a way like the end popped off of it. They slid them in there and they would put it back in there and lock it. You know,
Okay.
and so the Super Nintendo games had a set width as well. And so you know where I'm going with this. They got a copy of Earthbound in
Oh,
the box with the guide, all of that, and they could not display it. And so they said to me, they were like, I would always like the guy who owned this show knew my dad, and he would
Yeah.
always be like, we got some new games in. If you'd like to try it before we put it out, we'll let you keep it for the 3 day rental or whatever. Um, I was like, yeah. So I got Earthbound from them and played it and loved it. And I brought it back and they're like, do you just want to buy it because we can't put it out because of the box? And I was like, sure, yes. So I went home with Earthbound from Video Vision and I had the whole shebang there
Yeah.
and then brute forced my way through Earthbound. I don't still know how I beat it but somehow made it through and beat the game. But the other like mom adjacent video game memory I have is Friday nights going she would like almost every Friday night. It was Little Caesars pizza, fruit punch Kool-Aid, and video games, right? Like TGIF and video games.
Yes.
And so I a lot of trips to the Little Caesars at the corner of Kroger in
Hmm.
Dixon, Tennessee to get our square pizza, crazy bread, and crazy cheese. Rest in peace, crazy cheese. And fruit punch Kool-Aid, and maybe if we're feeling wild, maybe swing by Video Vision, rent a game,
Yeah.
or maybe I had a new one. I had a friend over. Some nights it was like, hey, we're trying to figure out Zelda Link to the Past, or um, we're playing NBA Jam, or whatever. So yeah, I know. I'm sorry I'm taking too much time, but like I told Aaron the other day, we were talking, and I said, what I've realized is like I've always thought that I was very like that. My primary nostalgia focus is the '80s, right? Like I love Transformers, I love He-Man, I love all that. Like I always felt like that was it, but I figured out recently it's not. It's mainly the late '80s to mid '90s. So like 87, 88
Hmm.
to 96 ish.
like your high schoolish
It's
years.
yeah, well, I would have been 16 in 96. So it was like before I started driving. So
Okay.
like getting my Nintendo until I started driving. Like the last game I remember getting before that was Super Mario RPG. And like just that time where like I didn't have a lot of friends. I didn't go do a lot of stuff, but I had my Nintendo and I had home and like just like that late NES, SNES era of games, Sega Genesis, TurboGrafx just really hits home for me as a very soft spot. Excuse me, in my heart for that. And I just I think about those nights staying up late, beating those games, Super Metroid, Link to the Past, Mario World, Sonic the Hedgehog, all that.
Yeah.
And she fed that addiction. She fed that. And she still does. So
Yeah. Nice. Thanks for sharing those memories too, Marty. Those are nice to have. It's like
what about you guys?
uh,
You have any?
my mom helped by, because my dad worked in the factory. He would work late days, so sometimes my mom would take me and my friends if they were spending the night over to the video store and do the same thing, pick up a game to rent, and me and my friend would play them. She was our driver, so to take us there and get us back home.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's a lot of moms that did a lot of the similar things. So in that regard, and I know there's some that obviously didn't. So we're not trying to take away from that either. But maybe it wasn't a mom, maybe it was some other woman in your life that helped feed that addiction or whatever. Or maybe it's the mother of your children. Who knows? It still counts. There's some memories here in the chat as well. A couple of them. Star Wars Dad says, I have fond memories of helping my mother get through levels and Super Mario Brothers. And Ms. says, one of my first memories is my mom playing Castlevania 2, and that's the first game I ever finished.
That's a look, that's a feat. Castlevania
Right.
2?
Yeah, I remember Castlevania 2 as being the first game I ever bought with my own money.
I'm so sorry.
And I did eventually beat it.
What a terrible night to waste your money.
Right. Yeah, and my mom pretty much is the one who got me into gaming. She, she was young when she had me. She was 19, so I was 6 years old. She'd be 25. So, my kids are older than that now. So put that into perspective. But so they got an television, and her and my dad would play it when we're in bed. Wasn't ready to share it with us yet, but around when I was 6 years old, she showed us uh, the television for the first time, and Next Space Armada and a few of the other simple games, and I just fell in love with it right away. My mom had a thing where if there was any bit of motion on the screen, she'd get nauseous. So but most of the games in television Atari era were single screen games, so she was fine. But I remember, I think, so a few years later, I think I was in second grade at this time. I came home from school and she's playing baseball, which that version of the baseball at the time had to be two-player game. There's no computer AI, so she showed me. Apparently, she's been practicing with my dad over I don't know how many nights to get good before showing it to me, because she knows once I figured it out, I would clobber her. But that first game, she literally had 120 runs to my 0 or 1 run.
Nice.
But yeah, I did eventually figure it out. Then there's later on in that generation, a second version of baseball came out that did have AI logic, so I can play single player. And it did a thing where when the ball got hit into what would be the not a home run, but I forget, warning track. Is that what they used to call it? I don't know. So the screen would literally
Yes.
scroll like that much, like in television, sprites are basically blocks, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's one block of height moved, inconsequential, but that would make her nauseous.
Oh, bless her heart.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
So
crazy.
when NES became a thing, she basically stopped playing games. She couldn't handle that much of a scrolling. She didn't have any problem watching me play. She just couldn't play it herself.
Huh.
It's interesting when what the brain does with that, isn't it?
Yeah.
For certain people. My like I said, my mom helped me and my friends go pick up games or whatever if we were renting them, but my grandma actually was the one who got me and my cousins and family into games with, and I just showed you guys this. I've been buying some Atari 5200 games for nostalgia purposes, but she's the one that had the 5200 first, and then eventually we got it. And one of her favorite games, I'll show this on the screen, but everybody can't see it, is River Raid. So this is another one I picked up. This was one of her favorites. She actually, and I think I talked about this before, but she submitted a high score to Activision and got a badge or patch for it.
I remember those.
And I wish I could have kept it, but she had it for a long time and had a picture of it and everything. And then the other game that I got to try, because she got herself a Game Gear, is the Castle of Illusion with Mickey Mouse in it. And that's why I showed you guys that too. I picked up that one because of that reason. But yeah, she's the reason why I got into video games, because whenever I went to spend the night, I was playing on their 5200 and playing games on the 5200 until we got our own. And yeah, that's so very influenced by the moms in my life for video games, one way or another.
That's awesome.
So lots of cool stuff for Mom's Day. And if there's any new memories that you guys have out there for Mother's Day after, we come back next week, feel free to chime in. Even if we passed Mom's Day or Mother's Day, just let us know. Maybe there's something that, someone in your life that is a mom got something cool or did something cool that's video game related or just as cool in general. We can take those too. And as we said last week too, I think that we will announce, we'll do a drawing after everybody who submitted something of getting some eShop credit for doing that. So thank you.
Well, Nintendo sent us something too, right?
Yes. So Nintendo was not getting a prize, but Nintendo sent us Mother's Day is fast approaching and gathering the family for
Congratulations,
gaming
Nintendo!
sessions.
You win your own eShop credit.
Yes. Gathering the family for gaming sessions is what it's all about. And it's what Nintendo sent us some suggestions for you guys to play games together with Mom, especially if Mom's a gamer. Play the game she likes, but if she needs any suggestions, you can offer up Nintendo Switch Sports, Just Dance 2026, Overcooked 2, if you guys are into that without killing each other. Super Mario Wonder Nintendo Switch 2 edition plus Meetup in Bella Bella Park. Disney Dreamland Valley, Lego Party, Solitaire Clash, Resident Evil Requiem, because there's moms out there that want to play that too. Any others? You guys have any recommendations?
Lego games. Besides Lego Party, like Erin really likes to play those games with me because she doesn't feel pressure like to not die, or it's like if you die, oh, you might lose some studs, but you come back, right? You can keep playing.
Yeah.
My mom and I used to play Rampage together on the NES.
Nice.
There you go.
And
that's awesome.
I don't think, is there a Rampage for Nintendo Switch?
I don't think so.
There is that that one
There's
I played.
Retro City Rampage, but
it's an indie company that made one, and I played it and talked about it. I have to find the name of it, but
okay.
I did a search for Rampage, and the first match is called Emoji Rampage Origins. I'm like, oh, that looks horrible.
Is it Terror of Hemosaurus?
Yes. That's the one I talked about.
Look that one up.
It is got the Rampage feels and stuff. I don't think there's.
Yes, I see that.
Yeah, I beat that one, and it was a lot of fun.
I need to put my 8th birth date in to look at the page.
It's got some funny.
It's on sale for $6.
Yes.
Hey, a great Mother's
Oh yeah,
Day game.
Darth Platypus shouted it out too. So
Okay.
that's the game for sure.
That looks like a lot going
Um,
on based on these
yeah,
screenshots.
it is hilarious. It is a hilarious game. I remember just cracking up at some of the stuff it did in there.
It's a 3-year-old
So
game at this point. I've never heard of this. So
I'm
oh,
I'm buying this right now.
my wife likes the Picross games too. So
Okay.
Picross games are good ones.
have you ever tried head-to-head co-op?
No, because she'll beat me just as bad as you did when I tried it with you. So
Awesome.
I'm pretty sure that it would be interesting to do like how Marty plays against Justin's wife with Dr. Mario. That if my
Yeah.
wife played against you and Jesse, in head to head on Picross, I'm sure it'd be very interesting. I think she could compete with you. I'll just say. So, unlike me, I could not.
I'm hoping that, I've said this before, if they do Picross S2 version with that can use game share, game chat support, something, I think that'd be really awesome.
Yes.
Then we'd actually have a chance to try something like that. It probably
Another game I would say is Split
I was-
Fiction or It Takes Two. Those two, if they play with your mom, pair up and play a game like that.
you need more people, but the earlier Jackbox games, the latest
Oh yeah, there
ones
you go.
have been kind of Apparently 12 has been announced.
Yep.
But the earlier games is where my mind goes to when I think of Jackbox games.
Yeah.
I just wish I had people to play it with again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They need to make a streaming version of that or something to where you easily play with people watching in a stream or something.
Well, they kind of can. It's still limited, but you can ask for extended timers to support that. But still, if you don't have much of an audience,
Yeah.
it isn't the same.
It's not as fun, yeah. So, yep, that is from Nintendo. As the day unfolds, there's co-op games here to make it a little more memorable. So, make some more stories to tell us about. We also have one last question for Mother's Day from Koopa Kid 80, which is what Nintendo character makes the best, most loving mom, and which one makes the worst? And he says Toadette would probably make the worst because can you imagine her yelling at you as a kid? I can't even do that voice. It's like, time to clean up your room. What about you guys? Any best Nintendo character would be mom and the worst?
I think Rosalina has a good with her relationship with her.
That's going to be my guess. But I have one locked in for worst Nintendo mom.
Okay.
Mother Brain.
There you go.
Did she ever do anything motherly in those games? No.
That is perfect. Love
Other
it.
than
Nope.
just mind controls.
Worst
the,
mother ever.
Space Pirates.
What did you do? You sat in a glass jar and got blown up. Then you turned into a dinosaur and killed a baby Metroid. Terrible mother. Terrible.
Yes. All right. So last question is actually not a Mother's Day question, but it is about the Nintendo Today app. And it is a little over a year old now, Nintendo Day app. And Spider Shan wants to know, how do we currently feel about that app? We have come really far from showing off an HDMI cord to announcing a surprise game direct.
I forgot about the HDMI cord. Yeah.
He says
I
the
like
collecting of Mario Kart Galaxy cards was fun experience, especially with the
That was
community.
good.
And he says what I don't understand is why they don't advertise it more, and if they want to make it more the go-to place for Nintendo.
So I love it when they lean into the nostalgia point of it, especially for people who haven't seen things like Issues of Nintendo Power.
Yeah.
And like what games were released on different days.
Yes.
But then there's just the weird stuff, like the Wario's fart of the day, and you know, yeah. I mean, it's there. I don't hate it, but I don't like. I'm not really. I noticed a lot of people have been saying lately, like our Nintendo Direct's dead because like everything's come through the app lately, right? And maybe it is. And so if that's the venue for the how we're gonna get stuff,
Hmm.
okay. But I always do like getting the notifications, like come watch this video. It's like, oh, it's early in the morning. This is something new.
Yeah.
But I think there could be other interactive things, like if you're gonna, like I had it open earlier today, and there's a look at Nintendo Power. I think there's like a Nintendo Power issue in today's, yeah, number 74.
Yeah.
It's just the magazine cover. Nah, fam, show me what's inside of there. Like, like let me flip through an article. Because obviously, like this one's about
Hmm.
Donkey Kong Land on Game Boy. Well,
Yep.
then let me read the article you wrote about it. Right?
I agree.
Like, I
Yeah.
think that would be, for me, would be a big selling point.
Right. And even if you had to, I would say like do what you give today to everybody. But if you have the uh Nintendo Online NSO subscriber, give them a little more. Give them that
Yep.
ability to open up that article.
Or give me the ability to save videos and screenshots from it
If
if
right,
Oh
I'm an
my
NSO
gosh.
subscriber.
Oh, that's so frustrating when I want to share something that's cool. Yeah, they did open it up a little bit by giving me the ability to share a link to back to the app that talks about that, but I want to share
Hmm.
that screenshot.
Right.
Come on. Between that and the blocking of Tamagotchi when I'm trying to share that, come on.
Sure.
Why? I can still go plug. I got to take the extra step of plugging up my Switch to a computer to be able to get that screenshot and then share it. Why make me do that if if you're gonna block it all, even though I don't want you to. It's like
can you connect the Switch 2 directly to a PC and use it like a USB drive, or do you have to actually take the thing out and put it
No,
into
you
your
can
computer?
connect it via USB cord.
Okay,
yeah, you can connect it via
that's
USB cord and
that's still a little bit more reasonable because especially with with where is it here? 'Cause I don't know how compatible the Express cards are with other devices that normally wouldn't use Express devices. So
yeah,
I picked up a USB adapter that lets me
yeah,
put it in an Express device. So worst case scenario, I guess get more speed out of it. Best case scenario, I wouldn't have worked any other way. I didn't
yeah,
try it. I didn't want to risk it. So
yep. But that's
so
the thing though, is I'm just trying to say is I have to they're blocking me from sharing Tamagotchi Life screenshots and videos, right? From doing what they gave us, the ability to push it to our phones with the app. I can't do that. But I can still connect it to my computer, take the extra step of connect it to my computer and get the shots there and then share it that way. If I can still share it that way, why are you blocking me from sharing it the way you originally intended us to be able to do that
it
with?
doesn't make any sense.
So it's like, let me share the cool things about your game. So, but anyways, yeah. So I'll get off my soapbox now. But that was a great question. Did you have any on the Spider Shan Nintendo Today app, Jesse?
Uh,
Anything on your side?
Pretty much since the 40-day movie card trading card, not really trading thing, I
Yeah.
completely forgot the app existed.
That was fun. That was fun to go in there
It
every day and see what.
was, but then like
So,
after on day, I think I logged in on day 41. They like moved the movie section to a different area, so like I didn't even think, like, well, I spent 40 days collecting
Hmm.
these quote unquote cards. Now I can't even
yeah.
look at them. What the heck? And then day 42, I completely forgot them. Stopped looking at the app again.
Right. Yep. There's still some little tweaks they need to make to it to make it better. And like we said,
Yeah, if they added more features, especially if you're a subscriber, I would probably be more inclined to try to remember that this thing exists.
let
But
me ask you guys this. Do you guys think that it's a good idea that Nintendo separated out all this stuff into 3 different apps? Not because you have the NSO app to see, to be able to connect to your photos and see who's online and who's pinging you or whatever. Then you have the Today app, and then you have the Store app.
And don't forget the parental
the music
controls
app.
app.
Oh, and the music app. So there's 4. Yeah, and then now there's 5, the parental one.
Some of the stuff probably
Yeah.
could be combined into one app, but if I don't think I think if all of it was in one app, it would be a disaster.
It'd be
as
too
well.
much. Okay.
Yeah, you do want to have some separation of thought.
Yeah. Purpose.
Otherwise, you look like a Ubisoft game.
All right. Well, that is the end of the community section, and real quick, we'll jump over to what we've been playing. Marty, what you been playing?
So 3 games, very quickly. I'm still having a blast with Dungeon Clawler, and there will be a video up on the 9th on our channel, doing a first look, showing you part of a run from that today, that I just recorded, and I hope it convinces you to buy the game. There'll be a lot of times when I say I think you should try this game or I think you should buy this game. This is a game that I'm advocating for you to buy. Like, I think that there is a ton of value, and right now it's like $13 on the Switch eShop. So it's not a huge expense. And it's, to me, it's held my attention this week so much.
So, Marty, when you were playing it when I came in last week during the pre-show,
Sure.
what I saw there made me go and buy it before you even started talking about it in what you've been playing when you were talking about it last week.
Yep.
So I put in 3 hours or 4 hours into it.
It's good.
So, yeah,
And
it is a lot of fun.
Got that one more run type of mentality.
Yes.
You know,
did you finish it?
It's
did you
very,
finish any runs yet?
I have not. I did make it to floor 20 of 20 with Sir Bunalot, and I unlocked a hidden boss who
Ooh.
defeated me. You don't have to fight this boss, but I'll tell you how to do it. If you, throughout your run, occasionally you'll go to a room where you can grab coins and health flasks, and Grandma's in there. Grandma's
Yes.
the hidden boss.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so mixed in with the coins, there's
You
her
get to
ID
collect those 3
card, her
different things.
teeth,
Yeah.
and her purse. The
Yes.
problem, though, with that is if you get any of those,
The
they have
penalties.
negative effects through your run. So one of them will take part of your health away. The other will permanently buff enemies' attack. The other will lower your defense or something like that. And so
Until
you
I
have to
saw
have,
that door, I was like, why would you want to try to
Yep.
get these things?
Yep.
And then I was like, there's
So
gotta
if you
be a
have all
reason.
3 of them, you unlock the door and you go through, and she is insanely powerful. Right.
That's
So like
crazy.
you've got to step in confident
You gotta
that
know what you're doing.
you're ready to go.
Yeah.
I should have just fought the boss. On that run, I probably could have beaten done a run with Bunalot. I probably would have won that if I
In
hadn't
that
chose
4
to fight
hours,
her.
I got to floor 20 to the shark guy, but lost. So
Oh, okay.
I
I
haven't
just
gotten
that
past
run, I
floor
had a
10
ton
yet.
of stuff. So, but yeah, you can see if this sounds intriguing, you can see the video. I've also picked up inKonbini, which Justin talked about on last week's show. It is the experience of running Konbini, a Japanese convenience store, and it's very charming. Like the whole thing with like the lo-fi radio music, and the very first chapter is all like you work as an overnight worker, and so like you meet different people after you open the store. And the first one is all like it's a rainy night, and it was like, man, this is perfect to relax.
Nice.
So it was really good. And then the other game I've been playing that I could tell you I'm playing, but I can't say anything about further is Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. And so this is one a lot of people have waited for a while on Switch too. So watch for our videos. We're Tim, Justin, and I are going to do a talk back where we show some video footage, and talk about some different things. And I'm also going to do a first look that'll be up this when the embargo's up. We're embargoed. We can't really talk about it other than to say, yes, we are playing Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. It does exist. It is going to release on May 12th. So yeah, those are the three games I've been playing. And guys, with that, I've got to go. I'm crashing like the Hindenburg over here. And so thanks for listening to episode 578. We'll see you next week, or I'll see you next week. These guys are going to keep going. So see ya.
Good night, Marty.
Thanks, Marty.
Go ahead, Jesse. What you been playing?
All right, so I've been playing more of Dragon Quest V, Hand of the Heavenly Bride. I got to the main quest final boss and got
Are you the
smacked.
Heavenly Bride now?
No, but I got her. After losing her twice, throughout the course of the game and finding her again, I got her back in my party.
Okay.
So, I thought I had something figured out, and thought, a little cheesing the game a little bit, because in this game, I don't think they ever outright say it, but you're basically I think this is the first time the game has a monster master class. That's what your character is. So you're able to recruit monsters into your party and use them as just like there's Patty's Party Place where you can configure your human companions.
Yeah.
You go to Monty's Monster, whatever he calls it, to administer your monster companions. So you can only have, I think, 7 or 8 companions with you at any time. So any spares after that are stowed away in these party place or in the monster pit. So then you're able to go mix and match them as you want. I had a golem named Mason. I thought that was a brilliant name. That
Nice.
was level 21, had over 400 hit points. To put it into comparison, my main character, while I was like level 38, only had like 320 hit points. So this is a 25% bump in hit points over my human characters. He has no magic points, but has an ability called Meditate, which is a 0 mana, 100% hit point heal that costs you a turn. So, while the boss just kicked everyone's butt in really fast, he would attack once or twice. If he attacked twice, or either way, if I had less than 300 hit points, I just meditated. And then if he only attacked once and I had more than 300 hit points, I would then get an attack in and then heal up the next round. In addition to that, Mason was wearing spiked armor, which is like my favorite mid-game armor to wear, because if you get attacked by a melee attack, it does damage back because of your spikes. And so, while most of the attacks the Nimzo did was breath-based or magic-based, it doesn't. The spiked armor doesn't help you there. Occasionally, he would do a physical attack and would get hit back. So I'm like, oh, if I do this long enough, this might take me an hour, might take me who knows how long. I might be able to fight through this with this method until Nimzo did a meditate. I'm like, okay, he just healed, so I don't know that this isn't going to work.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to grind up to be able to survive more than three attacks from him with my party. So I haven't played it since that day. I might, so my gung ho with the game kind of fizzled out. So I may or may not get back to it. I do want to try to see the end game content, but if I don't, I don't. And at this point, I'm like, I might as well try starting through 6 again, even though it's one of my least favorite Dragon Quest games. I've played all of them up to now. Why stop here?
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, just waiting for the next remake or 12 to come out is what I'm doing at this point. We hopefully will know more by the end of this month. Just like Pokemon Day happens every February 20 something. There's a Dragon Quest Day around the end of May. And with this year being the 40th anniversary, I'm sure they've got some announcements set up.
Yes.
So last time we heard anything about 12 was 5 years ago when their 35th anniversary version of this. And they said it was under development and it's been radio silent for 5 years.
Yeah.
Like that was when they first announced the HD2D remake of 3.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't even know about 1 and 2 yet at that point. Okay, then this weekend I did play Tetris 99 to get the Maximus Cup. I actually didn't have any runs where I died in the first 10. So every play was at least 10 points. Because it's really frustrating to put in the minute and a half to get a point.
Yeah.
Like, 99 more of these. Great. But,
right.
And I think I hit top 50 3 times for
Nice.
20 points each. So I only had to get between 80 and 50 4 times total to get that 100. So 7 runs, which is actually probably the best, the least amount of games I had to play to get my 100 points.
Yeah.
Which still I was tired at the end. That's a lot of Tetris in a short time. I picked up Dungeon Clawler. I think I've done 2 or 3 runs total. I'm not into it as much as Marty is. I will kind of poke at it every once in a while still when I'm not playing a Picross game, but I haven't gotten past floor 10 yet. So I don't know if I'm just missing a strategy or whatnot.
For me, it was the synergies. That's what, just figuring out the synergy between. Like I haven't played any of the other characters.
I liked some of the abilities I got was some of the items in your tank shrank, making them easier to pick up multiple pieces at once.
Yes.
Magnet, where metal objects will hover to it. And it's really funny watching this little dagger, which you didn't even grab, still kind of float around following you because you picked up the magnet.
Yeah.
So there are some funny things to see with this game. Yes. I did notice that Grandma's gear, as we talked about, are detriments to you. I didn't even think that far ahead that, there's a reason for that.
I didn't know it. I was just like, it was like, I wonder if there's something to this. It's like, why would you want to get these items? It's like, or are you just trying to avoid them? So that's what I just thought. Eventually, it was just like, okay, I'll just avoid them.
So I have, while I'm not playing it often, I haven't hung it up yet. I'll get back to it and play a few more runs. But I figured right off the bat this would be kind of like another Balatro for me. This would be fun for maybe an hour or two, and I'm going to fall off.
Yeah.
But for the price, sure, I'm okay with it. Nice. And then the last game I have on my list, I literally just played before we started recording, just because I needed something to kickstart my brain, because I just woke up from my nap, I was groggy. I wanted to play something that would wake me up but not exhaust me. So I started a run of Portal with RTX, which I remember I tried playing it last year, but I also tried to stream it, and that just my even though my graphics card's a 4090, it said, "Nope, you are doing too much, sir." Playing a 4K game,
Pick one. Pick one.
streaming 4K at the same time, yeah,
Right.
it didn't like it. But
It was like pick one.
yeah, but I got to, you know, there's 19 rooms total before you get into the rooms area.
Mhm.
I got to the start of room 17, which is the companion cube stage.
Okay.
So about 2/3 of the way through the game in a half an hour. I'm like, that's reasonable. Yeah, it's the same game of Portal as originally launched in 2007, but this just now has it's making it's working you're working out your graphics card. It's got shiny light reflections against metal walls, even against the glass. I think on the third room, you're stuck in an area because the door hasn't opened yet, listening to GLaDOS talk, and you see, the portal gun uh, down in the room below, watching it fire in three different directions. So, so you're listening to the monologue, forcing you to watch this to get an idea. Oh, this is how you make portals. When you're able to collect it, you can then control at least one of the two ends of the portal at this point of the game. So I'm standing up against the glass, and you can see Shell's reflection in the glass. I'm like, I didn't expect that. That
Yeah.
was completely unnecessary. If they didn't include it, I wouldn't have thought about it, but someone thought about it. And then I'm
Someone
like,
thought
okay,
about it.
that's cool. So yeah. So I think I think like a 3050 is required to play this game.
Okay.
So when the game originally launched, was RTX cards weren't as plentiful, but I think they've been around for 6 years now. So even if you may have an older one, you likely still have an RTX card. In fact, when in the very first chamber, when you wake up, when you have to listen to GLaDOS's monologue a bit before you can even leave that entry room.
Yeah.
There's one of the radios playing the Still Alive jazzy version, which I always thought was cute. But it had literally a 4090 graphics card sitting there on a table.
Yeah.
So I wonder if it picks up what graphics card you have and renders it at that location.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool little
Because if anyone
Easter
else
egg.
has played it and they have a different graphics card, let me know what graphics card shows up for you. Or if it just happens to always show a 4090 and I happen to have a 4090. I don't know. But yeah, so I don't think I'll log back in to finish it. Even if I do, it's only half an hour of play. I kind of would like to see them have done something similar with Portal 2, a little bit longer game. But I think the Portal with RTX, I think, was a free download if you've previously bought
Yeah.
Portal. So
Yeah.
if you have Portal in your library and you have a newer card, give it a free download and try. And yeah, it's a short game.
Nice.
If you know what you're doing, it can be played in about an hour. But even if you're playing it your first time through, it's an 8 to 10 hour game, and with like $5.
Yep. I beat it during Extra Life.
Yep.
Unexpectedly.
And then you got a copyright claim with the end credit music,
Yeah.
because I did too when I streamed it. I think I got
Yep.
hit on Still Alive and Watch You Gone when I streamed Portal 2 on my channel several years ago. But those songs are awesome.
They're just taking away the fun. That's all.
Yep. Thank
All
you,
right.
music companies, bastards.
Yeah. All right. What I've been playing is I started. Let me just mention the games I've played that I've mentioned before that I played before. Carmageddon, Rogue Shift, Dos of Divas, South of Midnight. I mentioned all those before. Um, I think all of these we've got videos on. Dungeon Clawler, we just talked about, both Marty and Jesse, and I talked a little bit about that. And the other game that I picked up, I actually own, I had it on the Switch, that I decided to play for reasons, is Rayman Legends Definitive Edition. Um, it's a game that I think came out within the first few months of the Switch, if not day one. I can't remember exactly
Did
when it
it?
came out,
I don't
but
remember.
it came out early. I think at least the first year, I'll say, for the Switch. So, and I've had it on cart physical for a long time, but never touched it. I played it when it was on the previous systems briefly, but never got into it.
Yeah,
It's one of those ones where I just,
I remember playing this on Wii U.
yeah,
Yeah,
played it just
this game came
briefly
out
there.
September of 2017. So yeah, so within 6 months of launch.
And yeah, I picked it up and playing it, and man, it is a beautiful looking game. And because of the handheld bump you get now with playing Switch games on your Switch 2, a little bit even more prettier than probably originally it was. But it's a really good looking game for when it came out. And it is a platformer, Rayman Legends. And it has a lot of content in it. So I mean, I just barely scratched the surface when I jumped into it, but man, it
It's the one that
plays
has like
nice
the musical
platformer.
levels.
I think so, but again, I just barely scratched the surface. I got
Yeah.
through the first level and just kind of got a feel of the layout of what you can access in the game, and just there's so much content. Like, it opened up showing me the overworld where I can not only play the worlds that I was in, the levels I was in, but you can go into other areas to play other levels and worlds that I don't know how they connect yet. So it's like very overwhelming. But I'm jumping into it to get a feel for Rayman Legends. Uh, so I'll be playing that some more, and maybe I'll do a stream of it at some point. We'll see. So if anybody has an experience with Rayman Legends, I would love to hear your opinion on it, especially the definitive edition that was on the Switch. And I don't know if that came out for any other systems either. But yeah, so playing that, as well as Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. I can't talk about that more until next week. And also another game that I can't talk more about until next week is Sektori. It is a twin stick shooter. And that's all I can say about that until next week. And I'll have first looks of those games, or let's plays of those games, depending on when they come out next week. So lots of stuff we've been playing and continue to play. And if you've got any questions about some of these, if we didn't give enough details, feel free to leave them in the comments, or in our Discord, or in any of our socials, or anything like that. So speaking of those things, that's the end of our show, Jesse. So we'll
is.
wrap it up. Before we head out, a huge shout out to our Patreon producers, Dave Ernsberger, Jacqueline Amira, and John Doe, and our incredible community across Patreon, Twitch, and YouTube. Your support keeps the lights on, as we always say. You can find everything we do, from merch to our social links and our fellow dad podcast, all in one place at nintendodads.org. Also including a link to our Extra Life. Don't forget about that. You can get that from nintendodads.org. Special thanks to our sponsors at Manscaped. Use code NINDADS for 15% off. And if you spend enough, you get free shipping. And a special thanks to OC Remixed for the tunes, like the one you're hearing now. Want to be on the show? Reach out to nintendodads@gmail.com or call 929-256-3237 or 929-25-NDADS, just like C-Dub did, to leave his mom memories. Don't forget to subscribe and leave those 5-star reviews. And thanks for listening. For me and Jesse and Justin and Marty. Check you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Nintendo Dads.
That's you singing, isn't it, Jesse?
Grab your coffee,
Right.
grab your kids. We're talking pixels, talking bibs, oh yeah. From old school cards to videos new with a Nintendo Dad's game right beside you. We got reviews, unboxing, stories from the couch, laughs, dad tips, and a friendly little shout. So pull up a chair, it's that time of the week. Nintendo Dad's podcast, let the dads all speak.